The whole world came to a standstill. And now that we're slowly coming out of the COVID situation that we're in, very slowly, and New Zealand have done such a great, so much progress so far, that it is the first step to coming back to normality. It's going to take a number of years. We're told maybe 3 years till we get back to early 2019 level of aviation flying.
Can you talk us through that process, where we're at now, and how what it'll take to get back to the levels that we were seeing pre-COVID?
Yeah, we're in a different world now, as everyone knows. So aviation was running pretty well, and it was thriving. We did have a number of positions, a number of pilot shortages, and we couldn't fill a lot of the roles. But now we're in the opposite sense, where we have lots of people that are qualified. Aviation is starting to pick up. We will initially be doing a lot of domestic flying, and that will look different because business flying is going to be different, although there is a lot to say for face-to-face business interaction. So business flying will still occur, but it's going to be more of a leisure market initially.
And meanwhile, you believe this downtime could be an opportunity for those looking to upskill?
Absolutely. I think there is a silver lining in a sense of the industry has come to a standstill. So the pilots or people that are interested in joining the aviation industry can start learning now, start getting a new skill set. And then when the industry picks up, they will be in a really good position to take up opportunities with airlines. And there is also going to be a flip side. There is a lot of people that maybe 4 or 5 years close to retirement that won't go back to flying. And that's actually a quite large number of pilots. So there's going to be another pilot shortage, we expect anyway. So this is a really good opportunity.
And so, Danny, for women in particular, would you say that this really is an opportunity for them?
Absolutely. It's said that there's 7% of pilots in Australia that are women. So that's really indicative of not enough women in the industry. And it's not just about flying, being a pilot or an engineer. There are so many different roles. And the Women in Aviation Australian chapter are really proactive in educating high school leavers and universities about all the different roles that you can do in aviation. At the University of Southern Queensland, we've got the Future Pilots program that we've signed up with Qantas, and Alan Joyce himself said that he wanted a goal of 50% of pilot cadet intake to be of females, and in the next decade at least. So there is a really big change to try and get more women in aviation, and I think it's a great thing.
And what other travel bubbles do you think might work in the near future?
Yeah, it's going to change. And as here in Victoria, we were doing really well, and it just took, I think it was like 3 days ago, and then that was undone. So it's going to chop and change. We can't really predict what's going to be really good. Even in New Zealand could have another issue, and then that closes down again. So it's really just case by case, day by day, and just hope for the best and keep trying.
And with airlines tightening their budgets, are there legitimate concerns about how they've been able to uphold safety standards, for example?
No, I don't think so. In Australia, CASA is our regulator, and they've got a really good standard. And then the airlines such as Qantas, Jetstar, Virgin, they have a higher standard above the requirement of CASA. So at any time, if they were to drop in any way, they're still definitely above the standard. So that kind of strategy is already a really good thing to have in place. But in aviation, we're very proud in Australia to have a really good safety record.
And what aspects of the aviation industry might be changed for good due to the pandemic? You mentioned some examples before.
Yeah, so it would be the business travel. I think that's going to look different now. Different airlines are, I would imagine, such as Virgin with their new look, are going to be changing their models. They're going to try and become, I suppose, work with the current environment. So they may not stay the way they were, such as similar to Qantas and maybe go back down to the budget sort of way. But whatever they do, it's going to be different to adapt to the new kind of flying. It's going to be more leisure flying initially, and of course it will just be domestic. So until our borders open up, we're going to just be flying around our country and hopefully increasing our tourism and really exploring our amazing country.
Well, that's something to look forward to in itself. Dani Maynard, thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.